Good evening, everybody. Welcome in to Coach's Corner East at Colonel Crawford Intermediate School, the final Coach's Corner East of this high school sports season as we finish up here with spring sports, and we will get after it in just a moment. We're brought to you in part by Don Barr and Associates at Galleon Building and Loan Bank, Matt Studer at Spitzer Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and Kia 1 mile east of the Richland Mall, and Mark Osborne and Associates, at E-Crane International, serving worldwide markets from the Galleon Industrial Park. A little later on, it'll be Sarah Frazier and the girls softball team here at Colonel Crawford looking to do some big things as they return the majority of their team from a successful team last year. Prior to that, it'll be Dan Gorbett and the baseball team at Colonel Crawford as they look to have a better season than they did last year. And a team here at Colonel Crawford that really doesn't ever have a bad season. It's the track and field team here. And Preston Foy and some of his track athletes are with us. Preston, thanks for coming today. I certainly appreciate it. And welcome back to another year. Is it hard to believe?
It goes quick.
Yeah.
Really quick.
Had a long extended football coaching this year.
Yes, we did.
And then got to watch basketball. Your son was playing basketball.
Yep.
And now into track and field. Refresh my memory how many years you've been coaching and Jody's been coaching on the girls'
I
side.
believe Jody's 42 years, and then this is my 16th year
16.
at Crawford. Yeah.
You know, that's got to have some value. When the young kids are coming up through grade school, into middle school, they see the success. They know the coaches. The coaches have been there. They know that the coaches are coaching successful athletes. Talk about how you feel that's important, especially for young kids coming up in the program.
Well, we try to build a culture here. You know, when I started, it was just pretty much Brett DeGray and Jody Grove and Mike Colley. And as we work through this whole thing, now we have a lot of former athletes that have been Ohio athletes for us. They're now back coaching for us. So they kind of understand the foundation that was set, and it's almost become like a family kind of thing. So that's pretty cool when you have former athletes that come back and coach for you.
And success breeds success,
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
So when you have young people that went through the system, had success, they can come back and say, hey, Sally or Joe or whoever, I know what it takes to get down to Columbus.
Sure.
And if you want to get there, I can help you.
Right.
But the expectation is you do what we ask you to do.
Right, and it's nice, you don't have to worry about coaching a relay or something. You have Coach Bauer, who was in an all-Ohio relay team for me, and he can cut, or Brett DeGray, who's been coaching with me forever. You can step away as a head coach and deal with other issues and trust these assistant coaches to get the job done because you know exactly how they're going to do it because we all know how to work together and make things run correctly.
Good. So talk about who is on your staff on both the guys' side and the gals' side.
Well, the high school level, we have Joey Bauer, he's also our head junior high track coach. He deals with all the junior high issues, but he also is our hurdle coach. He's an all-Ohio athlete for us. On the throw side is Bree Valiette, Bree Shrive, who used to coach at Galleon, threw at Galleon, was an all-Ohio thrower. Coach Todd Ralston, who was also a heck of a track coach, as you know, football coach at Galleon.
Right.
We have Brett DeGray, who's been with us for a while. We have Harley Shawm now, because we lost our high jump coach, who's now the head coach at Lexington High School, which is a big job there. So we got Harley Shawm to come over and coach high jump for us. So junior high level, we have Jordan Studer doing cross country.
Good.
And then Taylor Kelson, as you know as well.
Oh, yeah.
Who was also an all-Ohio sprinter for me and relay person for me. So it's nice having kids that, used to coach, like I said, and now are back helping us out and doing things that we feel are the right way to do things.
Yeah, that's outstanding. That's fabulous. So when you look at that for you and Jody both, do you look at yourself as kind of ringleaders, so to speak, and you're not necessarily specializing in one area, that you're just kind of make sure everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing?
I mean, Jody oversees the distance. She does. We collaborate once a week. That Monday, we always discuss my workouts, her workouts, so we can have an idea where everybody's, because kids get pulled in so many directions, just in track and field, because some kids are in field events, some are not, some are mid-distance, some are long sprints. We have to make sure we work together. Last year, last few years, we had Michael Moore on staff, and he was doing the sprint, so I kind of helped him oversee kind of wherever help needs to be at, I would go fill in at that event. But now with him being the head coach at Lexington, I have to take sprints over again this year, which is fine. I mean, that's my foundation, is sprints. So, but we all have pretty good assistant coaches in each event area that kind of helps out as well. So it makes things kind of run smoothly.
Good. Last year, the boys second in the N10, the 4x100 relay, seventh in the state, so that was a nice showing for them. The girls, first in the N10, and let's face it, Katie Ruffner, you don't get a lot of athletes that come around in any school, especially small schools, that did things like she's done. First in the state in 100-meter hurdles, sixth in the state at 100-meter dash, and first in the 300-meter hurdles, and of course it's gone on to Iowa State, I believe.
Yes.
Is that correct? And I'm just kind of singling her out, but there were so many. It was really a really successful season. And looking at last year's roster, you lost 8 seniors, but return a large group this year on the boys' side. And girls losing 6 seniors, but return a decent size of classes in the lower grades. Early on, what are your numbers looking like now on both the guys and the gals?
It's pretty consistent every year. I mean, we're right around 35 boys, 35 girls, and that's usually pretty normal in the mid-30s. So I like our numbers. I like our kids. And one thing I did like about the team from last year, and I hope will continue this year, is the state team that we had last year, every field event was covered. Relays were covered, 4x1, 4x4s. Throws were covered. I mean, pole vault, you name it, we were covering. All the hurdles was covered. So we were covering all the different events in track and field, not just sprints, just distance, just field events, just throws, And I think that's what we try to strive to be, is a well-rounded track program.
Sure. On both the guys and the gals team, are there certain areas that you feel are stronger, like maybe it's hurdles, maybe it's sprints, maybe it's field events, maybe it's distance, or is it pretty well represented, and you think that you can have success on all of it for both the guys and the gals?
I think, once again, we're going to be very balanced. I mean, the girls return a lot more than what I think people realize. I mean, losing Katie Ruffner and Corinne and Julia Fike was a big loss, but there's a lot of girls coming back that are regional qualifying girls, or girls that were, district finals, and some girls that made the state that weren't all Ohio that are coming back. So I think every event has a good chance to have, representatives at the regional, maybe state level again. Boys return a lot as well. We struggled in distance last year on the boys' side a lot, but we have a couple of really good freshman distance boys. I mean, Sean Hawks, one of the top, cross-country runners, returned as a freshman last year. He made the state meets cross-country as a freshman, so that'll provide some depth that we needed, distance that we didn't have last year. And we've got some sprinters. Eli was second in shot put last year, at N10, so we're pretty well-rounded, I think, again this year.
Very good. Well, let's talk to the young people around the table. We're brought to you in part by Stephen Chuck Keller at Keller Auto Parts, your Napa dealer, Uptown, Gallion, and Crestline, Dr. Thomas M. Britton at Clubview Vision Center next to the golf course in Bucyrus, Joe Kleiman Associates at the Gallion office of First Federal Bank of Ohio. 2 gals, 2 guys, all seniors. Welcome aboard tonight for this final show. Emma Scott's up first. And what events will you be taking place this year for Colonel Crawford?
I will be throwing both discus and shot put this year.
Okay. And is that something that you've done your whole track career?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what would be kind of those PRs on both the discus and the shot?
I would say for discus, I'm definitely trying to aim for at least 115. And
Okay.
shot put, probably 35, 36.
Okay. Now, on the girls' side, how heavy is that shot?
8 pounds.
8 pounds. So
Yep.
that's tough. I mean, to do what you have to do to spin and to push that off. Do you think, in your opinion, is it more footwork? Is it more strength? Is it a combination of both to be successful at that?
It's definitely both. Technique is very important when it comes to throwing, because you have to get that down to make sure you have the balance to get all the power that you can to throw it.
Yeah. Do you have some young people that are going to be throwing as well, like freshmen coming up?
Mm-hmm.
Have you talked to them and imparted wisdom? We talked about coach with former runners and track athletes coming back and now coaching. All of you have to take on a little bit of that role as seniors. Have you done that with the young people that have come in?
Yep, we've tried to help them as much as we could, try to tell them things to improve on, to make sure that they can get to the best of their ability.
Yeah, very good. What do you think, in your opinion, you've been this now going into your 4th year, makes this track program here at Colonel Crawford successful?
It's just definitely the closeness of all of us, with all the coaches willing to help and make sure that you're getting better. And it's just, we're all very supportive of each other.
I don't mean this in a derogatory or mean way, but is it an attitude as well?
Yeah, you have to have a good attitude. That's definitely important.
An attitude of confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily cockiness,
Yeah.
but hey, we understand the expectations, and we're going to live up to those expectations. Well, good for you. I hope you enjoy it. Your final interscholastic thing here at Colonel Crawford before you move on. Well, enjoy it. Have a great season.
Thank you.
Molly Teglovic is up next. We haven't talked since volleyball season, but you're back for track, and what will you be participating in?
I will also be participating in shot and disc.
Okay.
Yes.
And anything else besides that?
No.
Okay, just
Nope.
that. Do you, when you look at all of the gals that are going to be throwing, do you think that's really a strength of this girls program?
I mean, I definitely think that it could be this year. I think that, especially like me and Emma being will be the top two probably for both shot and disc. I think it will, just how hard we've worked in the off season. I think that it will show in some of the bigger meets. Hopefully that we've been working hard for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Good. Is there friendly competition between you two, both doing the same event, both being seniors,
Yeah.
that you want the whole team to do well,
Yeah.
but there's a little pride in who threw farther? Is there some of that?
I think it's really like cool that we're both like neck and neck because it like pushes each other to do better and like we push each other. So like yeah, there's like friendly competition, but in the end like we both want to see each other do well. So like just pushing each other is the main thing to do better.
When you look at this year, and this is so different than volleyball or football or any other sport where, you know, you play the league teams and you play a few non-league. These are so much more bigger events with multiple schools. What are maybe some of the meets that you really look forward to coming up in your senior season?
I definitely like the N10 and the county meet are like, I mean, they're like good milestones, like push you. I really like the county meet. That's actually probably my favorite because like you see Galleon and you see they're a bigger school than us, so you get to see like maybe a little more competition than you wouldn't see in the N10. So
Yeah.
I think those are good, and of course like the bigger meets in general. I think we're going to Mihawk this year, which that'll be different. We haven't done that one in a while, so just different competition that is good to push yourself to do better too.
Yeah, get you prepared for the postseason as well.
Yeah.
Well, good luck. Enjoy it, and it's been a pleasure interviewing you these last few years. I just wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
You bet. Isaiah Studer, what events for you?
Shot and disc.
We got all throwers tonight,
All
huh?
throwers,
I'm
sir.
starting to find a trend here.
sir.
All right, so we're going to be talking just throwing tonight. Okay, so what do you think when you've worked out and Mother Nature's been a little temperamental here lately, but I know you've gotten outside because we've had some great days.
Yeah.
What have you found already as a senior that you've already improved upon from last year?
A lot of the times it's a mindset. Me personally, I get in my head sometimes, but I've learned, my brother's kind of coaching me over the weekends too. It's a lot of times it's a mindset and just focusing on the fundamentals and not worrying about how far the implement goes. The distance will come with the technique.
You know, we talked to Emma, and she said it is a lot of technique. Yeah, it is strength as well. But how much of it is mental, in your opinion, where you just got to say, hey, I got to focus in? Are you looking at a spot out in the distance, or is it just get up and go?
Well, when you throw, you kind of have to spot in the full throw in the discus. You have to have a spot to look at to where you know where to get out of the back of the throw and into the front. But a lot of the times it's out of feel. It's just the repetition, muscle memory, and just letting it fly.
Do you prefer shot or discus?
I'm more of a discus guy.
Why is that?
Something about the finesse that you have to have in the disc ring, in shot, you can muscle it out there, but disc, it comes down to the finer points.
Now, Emma said it was an 8-pound. What is it for guys?
For guys, it's 12 pounds.
12 pounds, so 4 pounds heavier. All right, so you never try to grab the girl shot and say, hey, I'm gonna make history today, and hope nobody
Sometimes.
checks that.
Sometimes.
All right. All right. Well, do you know what you're going to do after graduation yet? Have you?
Well, I'm going to do 1 year at NC for business management certification, and then I'm hoping to buy out my dad from his family business with my brother.
Good for you. Congratulations on that, and I hope you have a very successful last interscholastic event here at Colonel Crawford and enjoy it, and hopefully get down to Jesse Owens. That'd be great.
Yep.
I appreciate it. And finally, Eli Brewer, also a thrower as well. You had much success last year,
Yeah.
and have you been kind of waiting for this time to come?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, you played football, right?
Yeah.
All right, had a successful year, and didn't go as far as you would have liked, and we're not going to bring that up and pick that sore open. It is what it is, but now you're coming to this final end, and the last few months of school and the last event. What would be your biggest accomplishment in your eyes? What are you looking forward to the most?
I'm not really like aiming for like a goal point. I just want to like see how far I could go, see how high my PRs could go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, whatever leads me to.
Do you have kind of a target PR on both the shot and discus?
Probably shot. I'm gaming for like maybe like 48. I'm guessing, and then discus maybe like 115. I'm guessing 120.
Okay. Not that you have to name any personal names, but who do you feel is like your biggest competition from throwing standpoint that you like to go up against?
Definitely like upper. Bills, he's a good thrower.
Mm-hmm.
It's always neck and neck in shot put with me and him. So
Is there a lot of talk before you throw where you're talking to kids from other schools, or is it just kind of, let me focus in on what I'm supposed to be doing, I'll get with you later?
yeah, there's not really like much talking. It's get in your zone type of deal.
Yeah. How's the health? You feel pretty good going into
Yeah,
this?
I feel pretty good.
All right. Even though the weather's kind of nasty. And
Yeah.
Now, do you like it really cold, or do you like it just kind of the normal springtime average temperature, or do you like it really hot?
I like it like warm, hot, basically.
Okay.
I don't like getting cold.
Don't like throwing in the cold?
That's not my vibe.
All right. Well, good luck. Enjoy the experience. Have fun, and I wish you and the rest of you all very good luck. All
Thank
right.
you.
We're going to take a break, come back, and finish up with Coach here. We're brought to you in part by the Burkhart family at the Burkhart Farm Center, your Case IH dealer straight west of Gallion on the Manette New Winchester Road. Sweet Baby Ray Jones and Kendra Weaver at Ohio Door and Sash, 120 South Street in Gallion, and Mark Osborne at E-Crane International, Route 598 on the north edge of Gallion. Okay, so you did do some indoor stuff, right?
We had some kids do some indoor, yep.
Yeah, how long is that? How long is that season, per se?
Usually the first meet you can go to is probably the first week in December, and then the state meet is like the first weekend of March. So
Okay, and how do you feel you guys did?
most of these kids participated in most of it, like an indoor meet or two. So I know Molly and Emma had a good indoor season, had some PRs in the shot, I believe, and I think threw probably as well as they did during the outdoor season, right? Or just past what they threw last year. So they're already kind of ahead of the game right now in the shot put. So
Good. So when you look, and as I mentioned, there's not this, Crawford against Winford only, or Crawford against Mohawk, or whatever. But when you look at the N10, you got a lot coming back. You have that success. Where do you kind of see you fitting in? And also, who do you see as really good competition when you look at kind of like that N10 meet?
I think the girls will be a favorite. I think they'll win the N10. I do. Carry girls are usually pretty strong as well. On the boys' side, we haven't won in a couple years, so the boys want to win it this year. We didn't win an N10 championship with football or basketball, so we're hoping to send the senior boys out with an N10 championship. I think Cyrus is going to be kind of a sleeper in that group. I know Coach Boggs has a lot of kids out there on the team this year, and he's a good coach and has good coaches on their staff, so that's kind of my sleeper pick on the guys' side is probably Cyrus.
Okay, very good. Mother Nature is always playing her hand in the spring here in Northwest Ohio. But if everything goes well, Saturday, March 25th, you'll be here with a whole bunch of others for an invite, right?
Yeah, it's not really an invite. It's more of we can't have scrimmages or track and field, but it's basically a glorified scrimmage.
Oh, okay.
It's just a bunch of buddies that we know in the coaching world that we're just going to have a laid-back kind of open track meet with as many kids and events as you want to. So like Liberty Benton's coming, Colida, Ontario, Mount Gilead,
Okay.
and Gallion. So just coaches that we all kind of know in the coaching profession. We're more worried about our kids and how they do, and just kind of evaluate our own kids. You know what I'm saying? So kind of have an idea where we're at and what we need to improve upon. So.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Then Friday, March 31st, the Grove Keller Invitational here, followed by the Keller Rich Relays at River Valley, Thursday, April 6th. Friday, April 14th, Stash Dash at Buckeye Central. Talk about that a little bit.
It's a fun meet. The kids really like that one. It's under the lights. They get little mustaches that are like a metal kind of look to it. It's different. It's unique. Coach Wiles from Buckeye Central runs that meet, does a good job. So it's just a fun meet. And then we won't take all the kids to that meet because we have Mihawk that Saturday. So we might let some of the younger kids run that day as well, so they get some invitational experience. So.
Sure. April 28th, Rob Royer invite here at CC. The 29th, Shelby. That's a freshman and sophomore invite over at Shelby. And then Gallion has a big event May 5th, and then the N10s at Buckeye Central. So it's really a full season, and just going to different places, seeing a lot of competition. And you mentioned the Mihawk. This is the first time in how many years going back to that?
Probably 5 or 6 years. We've been going to Glen Oak in the past.
Right.
This year we kind of decided we're just going to kind of keep everybody together. Mihawk is probably not as competitive as Glen Oak is, but we want to kind of keep everybody together this year and let our coaches coach all our kids. So we're going to do the Mihawk a try again this year. So.
Good, good. All right. Well, I know, as I said in the open, success breeds success, and all of you have been part of something really special for the last 3 years, going into your 4th year, and you get to kind of set the tone now for those young people, saying this is expectation, and I know you want to go out on a high, and I know you and Coach Groh want to as well, and I just wish you all the best of luck, and thank you so much for coming out. I
Thank you for
appreciate
having
it.
us.
You
Thank
bet.
you.
Thank you.
We're going to take a break here, come back with Dan Gorbett and the baseball team here at Colonel Crawford right after this timeout.